the question that he asked me is, I live a cleansing lifestyle where I'm constantly not only preventing waste from coming in, but I'm cleaning it out, but I'm also detoxing, like an oil change every 3 to 4 months. And because of that, this is why my body is so clean. And so I don't get the odor for not, wearing the deodorant. And trust me, like this was never a goal. I think what happened was, I just so happened to run out of deodorant and I couldn't find the particular brand that I was using. And so I went about a week without the deodorant, and I was noticing when I was at the gym, I wasn't smelling anything. And so I started to test the theory for a week, then 2 weeks, and then a month. And then I noticed that I didn't have the body odor. And then I was also checking, like having my friends like, hey, you smell this? Does it smell bad? That kind of thing too. So after that, that's why I stopped wearing deodorant. It was never a goal. Okay. So that's the first thing. That's why, that's how I answered the question to Bill Bellamy on the show. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is antiperspirant deodorant. And this is a very important conversation. The reason why it's so important is because the type of deodorant that many people are actually wearing is actually not very helpful to the process of eliminating waste. Let me explain why. Our bodies have what's called a lymphatic system. Our lymphatic system is composed of lymphatic vessels and lymph nodes, okay? The lymph nodes are located in the folds of our bodies, okay? In the groin area, fold. Behind the knee, fold. In the abdomen area, we fold. Under the neck, we fold. Under the arms, we fold. That's where the lymph nodes are. The lymph nodes are like toilet stools, okay? You put waste in it and then you flush it out, okay? Now, how do we flush it out? When we sweat, okay? So when you think about the area of the body that we sweat the most, is quite often in the folds of the body. We sweat under our arms, behind our knees, in our groin. These are the areas that we sweat the most, and we're sweating the most there because that's the area we eliminate waste because of these, lymphatic toilet stools that we call the lymph nodes, okay? Now, if you ever had like a swollen lymph node, that is an indication that lymph node is not only eliminating waste, but it's also fighting waste. Let me give you an example. Our lymphatic system compared to our circulatory system, our blood circulatory system, 80% of the fluid volume in our bodies is actually not in the blood circulation, it is in the lymphatic system, okay? So most people think, the vast majority of the volume of liquid in our body is blood. No, it's actually lymphatic fluid, okay? That's really important. And the reason why that's so important is because we don't know what the lymphatic system does, okay? And let me give you a few things that the lymphatic system does, all right? One of the most important things that it does is collect waste, as I mentioned before, but what I didn't talk about was the different types of waste that it collects. It also collects viruses, bacteria, and even cancer, okay? Most people don't understand. Most of us in our lifetime have had cancer in our bodies, even though we probably haven't been diagnosed with it. And the reason why you don't know it is because your immune system stomped out the cancer before it actually matriculated into cancer itself or forming a tumor, okay? So our immune system actually is the first line to fighting off cancer. That's really important. And why that's really important is because that shows you how important it is that we do things to make sure our immune system is strong. But also why that's really important is because the lymphatic system is collecting those cancerous cells that have been killed off by the immune system and is collecting it so that these cancerous cells can be eliminated from the body, okay? And how they eliminate it from the body? They go to the folds of the body where the lymphatic toilet stools are, aka the lymph nodes are, to be eliminated from the body. Now, here's why deodorant can be toxic to that process. Because most people's deodorant contain aluminum, which is a heavy metal, which in and of itself is not healthy to the body. Because the heavy metal aluminum not only can cause issues with the nervous system, but also the heavy metal can mimic certain hormones in the body, okay, and confuse the endocrine system. But most importantly, heavy metals like aluminum have been linked to dementia as well too. And we're seeing so many people who have early stages of dementia, okay? So that's the first thing that is in deodorant that is very toxic. And that aluminum is what actually causes the antiperspiration, meaning it prevents you from sweating, okay? So remember what I said before, the whole purpose of the folds of our body is to eliminate waste, okay? Because that's where the lymph nodes are located, right? All right, so now you're wearing this antiperspirant using the aluminum to block the sweating pores, and now the waste stays in, okay? Now the waste is tucked in and accumulating in the lymph nodes, okay? I'm gonna tell you why that's dangerous in just a second. But the other thing that is really dangerous dangerous in most deodorants, and I find them in most conventional deodorants, is parabens. Parabens are endocrine disruptors, okay? What that means is they disrupt the endocrine system, which produces most of the hormones that we have in our bodies, namely estrogen. This particular endocrine disruptor, parabens, they cause an increase or a spike in estrogen in the body, and these are fake synthetic estrogens. Here's why that's so important. Because at the end of the day, one of the leading forms of cancer is breast cancer, okay? It's one of the leading forms and most dangerous forms of cancer for a lot of women, okay? Now, let me connect that all back to the lymphatic system, okay? And deodorant, and you'll see we'll come full circle. Well, as I said before, when you look under the arms, there are lymph nodes in here, like the little toilet stools under our arms. Those lymph nodes are attached to these lymphatic vessels, okay, that go to the breast tissue. All right, so now you're blocking the lymph nodes, the toilet stools, from eliminating waste, so that waste is accumulating, right? Remember what I said, it's not only toxins that are being eliminated, waste that is being eliminated, but bacteria, viruses, and even cancer that has been stomped out in other areas of the body is also being eliminated through the lymphatic system as well. But now you're wearing a deodorant that has aluminum in it, and that aluminum is blocking those sweating pores. All right, now you can eliminate the waste, including cancerous cells that have been stomped out by the lymphatic system. All right, so now it's backing up. These blood vessels are being backed up because there's so much waste. Where's it going to be backed up into? Under the arms and in the breast tissue. Okay, and what is one of the sort of the telltale signs with a lot of breast cancer patients? Estrogen dominance. A lot of estrogen in the body, okay? A lot of estrogen in the body. This is why birth control pills, you'll notice that if a woman was on birth control pills and got diagnosed with reproductive cancer like breast cancer, one of the first things that the doctor is gonna do is take her off of it, okay? Because birth control pills are estrogen, okay? So now you're accumulating all of this estrogen, all of this waste, cancerous cells, bacteria, viruses in this lymphatic area, okay? And on top of that, the deodorant has parabens, which are further increasing the estrogen. What do you think that is going to help or lead to? I want you to think about that for a second. So this is why I stopped wearing deodorant, okay? And this is why I tell people, if you're going to wear deodorant, make sure it does not have aluminum in it and it doesn't have parabens. Get a natural form of deodorant with as few ingredients as possible, and ingredients that you can actually pronounce them. And if you cannot pronounce the ingredients, look them up and do your own research, because it's so important. Everything we put in our bodies through our mouth, but everything we put on our bodies goes in our bodies. It's so important to understand.